Hey, welcome back. It's Nolan Mathias, and today I'm making a video that I've been putting off for a while now. It's not a video that I really want to make, but after the recent news over the weekend, I feel obligated to, yes, talk about it, cryptocurrency. And in this video, I'm going to give you the basics of cryptocurrency for Canadians, what you need to know, whether or not you should be investing in it. And basically, I'm going to talk about all things Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, Dogecoin and Elon Musk. But before we get into it, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and please hit that like button so more people like you can see this video. And don't forget about a race to 25,000 subscribers, where one lucky subscriber is going to win $5,000 to pretty much do what they want with it, but ideally put it in their RRSP, RESP, or TFSA. So go ahead, click that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, and it's definitely worth it. The definitive guide on how to manage your credit, product, penalty, price, in that order. It's never been more important to get your mortgage right. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's discuss cryptocurrencies because obviously over the weekend, this became the hot topic. And this is something that we need to be paying attention to because obviously there was this that happened, and that was Elon Musk's appearance on SNL, Saturday Night Live, where he single-handedly tanked the value of Dogecoin in a matter of a few minutes. But that's not what's important. What's important is that cryptocurrency became a topic of news that made not just the front page of the financial news, but the front page of news sites all over the world. And, it's really, really interesting because an investment, a tool, a cryptocurrency like Dogecoin isn't even the mainstream investment. No. Well, this was all happening. Another mainstream cryptocurrency investment called Ethereum was hitting its all-time high of just over $4,000. And that pretty much went unnoticed because of the hysteria around cryptocurrencies and specifically Dogecoin and what Elon Musk was going to say on Saturday Night Live. So I think what this all shows us is that we need to start talking about cryptocurrencies. Again, this is not a video that I had any desire to make, but I think it's one that we need to make and we need to talk about from a beginner's perspective. So, let's jump into it and let's just discuss a few things here. I want to jump into why this is so important because when you look at things like this Barron's article from April 5th, with companies like Visa, Tesla, PayPal accepting some sort of cryptocurrency and accepting that cryptocurrency is here to stay, we need to have an understanding of what it is and how we should be using it in our investments. So first and foremost, what cryptocurrency is it is built on what's called a blockchain. And what a blockchain is it is blocks of data that as each block fills up, it gets attached to the previous set of blocks via a chain. So basically what you have is a record of everything that has ever happened to that particular token or that particular cryptocurrency, and it is indestructible. So you can't go back and change the data out. You have a ledger essentially of everything that has happened, and as each block fills up, it just adds itself to the chain. And that makes it very, very, very secure and very easy to not so much track from the perspective of tracking who owns it, but tracking what has happened with it and making sure that it is still in the right hands and that it isn't fraudulent. So this obviously has turned into something huge. It started with Bitcoin, which is like the OG cryptocurrency. And in recent years, there have been significant amounts of cryptocurrencies created. There now is over 6,700 cryptocurrencies in the world. And the three most notable are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and for some reason, the coin that was started as a joke, Dogecoin. And the reason why I think this conversation is so important is because of Dogecoin. Because Dogecoin was, again, started as a complete joke. It wasn't ever designed to be a mainstream cryptocurrency. It was literally just some guy said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my own. I'm going to call it Dogecoin. And he put a picture of the dog on the coin, and that was it. He just created it. And it had virtually no value until early this year when it started to get a little bit of mainstream attention, primarily because of a couple of tweets from Elon Musk. And all of a sudden, it went from almost zero value to a pretty significant value, almost 60 times what it started at. And that obviously created a whole bunch of excitement around this coin that nobody had ever actually heard of. And that's the whole point, I think, of this video is that when you start to get this mass sort of excitement around an investment that nobody really understands, that's when we have to be really, really careful because cryptocurrencies are what's known as a greater fool investment. So in other words, their only value is that somebody else may be willing to pay more for it than you paid for it originally. That's it. It's not like a company like Starbucks where, they can decrease expenses or do marketing to increase revenues and ultimately create more profits, and that increases value. No, cryptocurrency is similar to something like a gold or silver, where literally most of the value derives from the fact that somebody else is just simply willing to pay more. And that all has to do with market sentiment. So, one of the things you have to really be careful around investments that have nothing but market sentiment driving them is you have to be careful about their volatility. And what we see daily is we see things like Bitcoin and Ethereum run up in value, run up and down in value really, really quickly. And for example, Dogecoin over the weekend went down 30% in value. And then when SpaceX announced that it was going to accept it as an investment, then what happened was it went up 30% in value. And don't kid yourself, I think the reason that SpaceX decided that they were going to announce that they would accept Dogecoin as payment for SpaceX services in the future was because Elon Musk went on SNL and single-handedly tanked the value of Dogecoin. And as a result, that could have had some sort of effect on his other company, Tesla, if he didn't do something about it. Because if Elon Musk becomes the guy who single-handedly tanked Dogecoin and a whole bunch of Elon Musk followers took their investment and basically put it in because they believed in Elon Musk and that it was going to go up in value, and believe me, there was hysteria around this. A lot of people were buying Dogecoin because they thought that Elon Musk was going to pump it on SNL. Well, if those same people are the people who are the market for a Tesla vehicle, well, he basically created a scenario for himself that could have caused him to lose an awful lot of revenue if he became the evil Dogecoin guy. I mean, it's bad enough that he already has that evil supervillain thing going on already, but to make that worse by tanking a whole bunch of people's investments, I think the SpaceX thing had a large part to do with basically appeasing potential Tesla clients. So what you really need to understand is that cryptocurrency is a highly volatile investment. And that means that if you are going to invest in it or purchase it, some people are not even willing to call it an investment, then what that means is that you need to be very careful about your portfolio allocation. And you probably don't want to be putting all your eggs into one basket, which is cryptocurrencies. And you don't want to put all your cryptocurrency eggs into one basket either, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin, if that's your thing. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are setting a very specific amount that you are going to put as your limit on how much you're going to invest in cryptocurrencies. So for me, I've set it at 5%. I split that up basically between Ethereum and Bitcoin. In the past, I've only been invested in Bitcoin, but I'm trying to diversify my cryptocurrency holdings. And those cryptocurrency holdings, I will not allow to go above 5% of my total portfolio. And they are simply there because people believe that they are a good hedge against inflation and against a devaluing US or Canadian currency. And that's the really interesting part, because from an economics perspective, we haven't actually seen what cryptocurrencies do when a market crashes, right? We haven't seen what they do when housing crashes. We haven't seen what they do when a stock market crashes. We've only really had cryptocurrencies during times when investments were going up in value. So while they may be a good hedge for devaluation and bad things happening in the stock market, you need to keep in mind that they could ultimately not perform the way that we expect them to perform, which is why we need to maintain them as a very small piece of our portfolio. Now, how do you go about purchasing these? Well, in the US, it seems that Coinbase seems to be the go-to place to invest in them. And obviously, when you purchase with an organization like Coinbase or an exchange like Coinbase, you can take the actual cryptocurrencies off of their exchange and you can put it into what's called a digital wallet. So basically a hard drive or a thumb drive, where you take physical possession of your cryptocurrency, whether it's Ethereum, Dogecoin, or Bitcoin. And then in Canada, there are two companies that I like for purchasing Bitcoin and purchasing cryptocurrencies. The first is Mogo, which is an organization that only deals in Bitcoin at this time, but it is very simple and very easy to invest in Bitcoin via this organization. I personally hold several $1,000s worth of Bitcoin in Mogo's account. The one thing that I do like about Mogo is that they hold most of their Bitcoin in cold storage, which means it is not accessible to the internet and therefore not accessible via hacking or cyber attacks. Now, the other tool that I like and that I'm finding to be even more advantageous is an organization called BitBuy. This, from all the people I know that invest in cryptocurrencies in Canada, seems to be the way to go. It has more options, obviously, than Mogo has, and it has the added benefit that you can take your cryptocurrencies and you can transfer it to a digital wallet, much in the same way that you can with Coinbase in the US. Now, obviously, you can purchase Bitcoin, you can purchase Ethereum, you can easily diversify yourself with BitBuy. If I was starting all over again, I probably would skip Mogo and go straight to BitBuy so that I could buy multiple different types of cryptocurrencies. But again, the key thing here is to make sure that when you're purchasing these cryptocurrencies, you're only purchasing a small amount of your portfolio. You're not sticking all of your net worth into them because, again, they have a significant amount of volatility. And what that means is that they can go up a ton in the morning and come down a ton in the afternoon. And we don't really want to invest in things that have massive amounts of volatility like that. What you generally want to do is you want to invest in things that tend to go up in value over time, have sometimes have corrections, but ultimately end up in that linear upward pattern rather than in big spiky patterns where you never know whether they're going to go up or down in value on any given day. So I'm going to link to both Mogo and BitBuy in the description below. Go ahead, click those links to sign up for accounts. And again, I do believe that you should have at least some form of cryptocurrency in your holdings. Again, keep the amount small, keep it measured, keep it reasonable, but definitely make sure that you're getting at least a little bit of money in those cryptocurrencies and understand that they are volatile. So don't just go selling because they go down or selling because they go up. Make sure that any investments you're making, you're holding for the long term. If you found this video useful, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, please hit that like button so more people like you can see this video. Don't forget about our race to 25,000 subscribers, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.